All right, guys, today we're going to do a simple and inexpensive mod to my Jeep Gladiator. This is also going to work on any of your Jeep Wranglers, so stay tuned. Now, what I've got here is a modification that you didn't know you needed, but once you see it and hear about it, you may change your mind. You may also think it's absolutely ridiculous. Let me just go ahead and show you guys what we got. I can't. So I was browsing around on Amazon, and I think Amazon showed me this. I didn't even have to like search for it, but and it still cracks me up. But what this is, guys, this is a duck landing pad. Yeah, a duck landing pad. What is a duck landing pad, you might ask? Well, it's just a simple little bracket that's going to mount over to our mirror on our driver's side door, and then we're going to be able to have a little pad. And so it's got this bracket that attaches to the mirror, and then somehow this all must attach like this. So we're going to have this little mirror here where we actually have a little duck landing pad for people to place ducks. So, you know, sometimes you get ducked and people put them all over, right? Sometimes they're on the hood, they're on the fender, stuff like that. So this has a little duck landing pad, which is kind of cool. So it should just be easy. I think it's just 2 or 3 bolts, and we'll get it all stuck on. All right, so it does come with instructions, which look pretty good, looks super simple, says 5 to 10 minute installation. So first step is we're gonna want to actually put together our bracket and the landing pad itself, and they do give us the bolts for that. So just gonna take this and we're gonna just bolt that together. And then these 2 bolts here, these are gonna just be, we're still reusing the factory hardware of the mirror. So we'll have to, so let's get this together and then we'll go after this. All right, so to tighten this, you're just going to need a 5mm hex and then a 13mm socket or wrench like I've got here to hold the bottom while you tighten the top. And just get her good and tight, you know, good and tight. Yeah, well, it's a little bit crooked. Get it straight, and then you're good to go. Something like that. Now the other thing I want to mention is this bracket, it's all metal. Not sure if it's steel or aluminum, but it's got a nice powder coat finish. It looks good. The only thing I think we're kind of missing here is if we had some kind of locating tab on this bracket to be able to position this thing perfectly straight. So you can see I got it straight. The first time I tightened it, it was a little bit crooked, so I had to untighten and then kind of hold it. I mean, not a big deal, right? It took me extra like 1 minute, but if there was just something on this bracket that was kind of a locating tab to hold that all in place, that would be really cool. But otherwise, this thing looks great. And then on the back here, I was looking, you know, to make sure it's not going to mess the paint up, but it does have like a little piece of felt, soft material here, so that way when it's resting against our door, it's not going to scratch up the door, right? So that's good too. I also actually just noticed in the instructions, this also does work for the JK Wrangler as well. So did not realize that. I was thinking it was just JL, but nope. Here's your JL directions, and then this will also work for your JK. All right, the next thing we got to do is we got the driver's side door open, and we just got to get to these 3 bolts here that hold the mirror on the door. These are a T40 Torx bit. So probably the stock toolkit for the doors, probably one of those fits this as well, but I just grabbed one out of my toolbox. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to loosen all these up, so that way we're going to pull them off, and then that way we can get our bracket on the outside, and then we just put the bolts back in, and that all holds it in place. And we're going to want to probably hold our mirror to make sure she don't just, you know, fly on the ground. All right, so if you're wondering for some reason what the inside of your mirror stuff looks like, this is it. So there's this little bracket here that kind of wiggles. Your bolts go through that, and then bolts go into the mirror. Something just like that, right? So pretty simple to pop that bad boy off. So I think now, yeah, so now what we're going to have happen really is this is just going to sit where these pins are. So there's these 2 pins here on each side. And where's the other one? There it is. So the pins are actually what's going to just hold this in place. So we'll just sit this here, we'll sandwich this back in, and then we get the bolts back in, and we're done. All right, so there's our finished install. Now, the one thing I'll point out, and you probably saw me when I was doing it, is when you're going to put this on and hold this mirror in place, have a bolt already in your hand so that you can reach through and get your bolt started while still holding the mirror on this side. Otherwise, when I had the door open like this, and I wasn't able to swing around and grab the bolts off the floor. So get a bolt in your hand, be ready to go with that, and then you can slide this thing in. It's very simple, and then get your 3 bolts all tightened back up, and then you're good to go. You got your guy on here. And here we go. We got our duck. We got a nice little spot for it to get put. So pretty cool, pretty nifty. Is it kind of ridiculous? Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous, but you know what's cool? My kids thought it was really cool. So my 2 girls, they think it's cool. So I was like, all right, let's put it on there. And yeah, now we're ready to get ducked. Duck us up. Now, if you're still on the fence about whether you really need this product, check this out. Of course, you need this product. Now go ahead and I'll put the link in the description below. This particular duck landing pad came from Joytutus, and we've used a bunch of their other stuff on this build and on other builds on the other Jeep builds. So, so far with Joytutus, I've had great luck with all their products, so I don't foresee any issues with this thing either. So again, hopefully this helps you guys out. Check the link below to get the product. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll catch you on the next one.